So here's a new Byte. After 62 hours, I finally finished Death Stranding. And if you wonder where I'm on the spectrum of do I hate it, do I love it, I have to admit, I really loved it. And in the end, I think Kojima is a god. It's like it's the best goddamn storytelling I've seen in the end. The problem is, it takes like 50 hours to get there. So, welcome to a spoiler-free review of Death Stranding. I want to do later on, when I have more time, and a little bit of distance, maybe even some analysis, some explanations, but they will have some spoilers in there. So, to be fair to the people out there that maybe want to jump on it next year when the game comes over to PC, still have one more addition maybe to the pool of thoughts about why would it be worth it buying the game and playing the game. Well, let's jump in after the intro. So, after completing the game, I really must say, like, the last 10 hours are the best, really, that I could imagine. The storytelling brings back so many things from early in the game. It takes so many turns and loops back and makes connections, and it's really interwoven in itself. It's like, from the beginning on, you wander through this game, and you just see parts of the whole picture. Only, puzzle pieces. You don't know even what the whole picture will make up. But as you go through, in the end, this whole thing comes together, and it just falls into place on every little thing that you had questions on. And it gets solved so good. It is incredible. So, that's just about the story. The main grip is that Death Stranding happened. It was an extinction event, basically. Sort of, that brings basically the world of the dead over to the living, and instead of just being, ghosts or something, they're actually demons in that sense. And they can cause big explosions, like nuke-level explosions. They're really big. And of course, if you try to make something good out of that, you try to connect with each other. The Death Stranding, the event, took everyone apart, and you, as Sam Porter Bridges, you're just trying to walk through the world and connect everyone again. And that's basically the gist of it. That is this UPS simulator, where you're just the post guy, on your feet, on a bike, later on even in a truck, deliver your things, make connections, of course, and get everyone on the basically internet, but without the time delay. That's a cool thing of the Death Stranding. You can send data through these things called beaches, and they make basically that time stops in the time from entering the beach and leaving the beach, which makes instant transmissions happen. Cool idea, I guess. And with that on, the whole logic builds up where you can transfer materials through a network and print out, for example, stuff for roads. You can make yourself zip lines that you can zip from point to point over the map. And it's really cool, and it's kind of fun, actually. Because the game can make a lot of fun, even in the first, 50 hours that took me to play the game, which is why it took me 50 hours. You can play through the game in, I think, 20, 25 hours if you just go through it. But if you, take your time, go in small iterations, and expand only until a certain part, and then you make further connections, deepen them, make more deliveries in between these first few knots that you make, it really helps. It makes the game easy, actually. And especially if you play then that online component of the game can actually be really fun. Because there's always these small, curves where it gets first very difficult. But if you use your tools, expand your network, and build your streets or zip lines, then it's really just very nice to walk through everything. So the game can be very easy on that side. Talking about combat in just a second, but first, a small side note on online connectivity and how to play together. Yes, you could consider Kojima being very pretentious when he talks about Stranding as a gameplay mechanic and everything, but he's using language just based on his own game. And basically what is all just needs into is it's so simple actually. You provide each other, for example, material to build things. You get yourself some items. There's, for example, if you do deliveries, a spray which helps to improve, of course, the status of your package. So if it's getting beat up a little bit, you can repair it with that, and you can set each other these sprays, for example, or even more things like weapons and a variety really of different tools that help you on your way. If you're on the ice, you can get heating pads. If you're on different terrain, you can use exoskeletons, for example, that help you, and so on. And these even sometimes can be leveled up, which is another thing where it helps actually if you deepen your connections with other so-called preppers or sites that basically are like specialists that help you to get even better gear. Again, make the game very easy again, or easier at least. And even combat in that game, which is not online, this is all just inside of the game, was really cool. If you have your connections with the other people, you basically level up everything very quickly. And you even meet these so-called mules, which are basically just like bandits, you know. They're out there, they're stealing your cargo, and basically you have to steal back from them. And it can be quite fun. In the first beginnings, when I didn't have any weapons, I only had like, you know, a strand, which I could use to tie people down. And yeah, basically use that as combat. You know, they only had spears at first. Later on, they also get weapons, and you have to shoot them back, actually. It's a little bit more tricky, but in the end, because the dead are basically exploding into nuke-like explosions, it's really disencouraged to kill each other. And it's kind of cool, and if really appreciated that they think different about, you know, killing people in the game. It's basically forbidden because you would just nuke places, and that in itself is of course very bad. So you have to go over it smarter. This is not where people demand like, oh, we shouldn't not kill everyone, blah, blah, blah. This is actually given a very good reason in a very deepened, law-based, and also story-based, of course, way how to overgo this. The same reason how Kojima says he wants to rethink game overs. Game overs are basically like a thing from the past, from slot machines and stuff like that, you know, arcade games, where you put in coins, and the games were literally designed to drain coins out of you. But new games don't need that. And that's why, for example, Sam can just come back. There's a little bit of gameplay involved even with that. It takes just a few seconds, but basically there's never a game over screen, just really a continue option. Kind of cool, I guess. Although, a mini thing, in the end they're also game overs, so you couldn't get rid of it all the same. There's sometimes, you know, story-based reasons why it says, well, actually, I guess there's a game over, but we won't call it that. So, yeah, think of Kojima, what he says, what you want. In the end, when you just look at the game, I think there's just really great things in there. Again, I get if you don't want to do this delivery system part, which is the biggest thing of the game, of course, then you won't find happiness in you. But if you like small simulations, things, building up things, and as weird as it sounds, stuff like, for example, I don't know, Euro Truck Simulator, where you just drive from A to B and then get a notification that, hey, you did good. You get a rating in the end, you get likes from everyone, and overall, it kind of feels very positive. It's like there's one thing that I really appreciate about this game. You get constantly likes. You get likes from porters, other players that you connect with. Basically, if you just see them through the world, you can pick up their lost cargo, bring it back, you can bring it to the actual people that need it, stuff like that. They get a little bit of rating, you get some rating, and overall, it's just, you know, chasing for a weird high score, but it feels really nice because it's just based on this likes system. And even if you meet other characters later on, they give you constantly likes in cutscenes, which kind of is weird at first, but in the end, you feel like, yes, this is kind of weird, but it also works in some way. Kind of, yeah, weird, I guess. So we're hitting the 10-minute mark. Let's bring it to an end, basically. Again, don't want to spoil anything, but like, seriously, if you are intrigued by the design of the world and the atmosphere, and basically if you don't feel bad about building things up, you know, like there's different games out there, city simulators where you start small and go bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a cookie clicker things, you know. This game really transports it well. If you hate, for example, like how you have difficulties with your balance and everything, you can go into very easy mode, which is kind of encouraged from my side at least. I played this game on normal, I had absolutely an okay time. I didn't think it was ever unfair, but I know people are easy to be, annoyed from things like deteriorating things, where they just go bad over time, because there's this rain in this game, which makes time move forward faster. And of course, if you have cargo on your back that's open to this rain, it can go bad. And with the easy mode, it will be just treated, well, easier. So if you are really short in patience, I guess, maybe play the game on super easy. Don't think about what the implications are, like, oh, only normal and hard difficulties are the remotes. Super easy by Kojima himself was mentioned as the way to play if you just want to enjoy the story. And that's absolutely legitimate. And I think if you stick with the story, it's really worth it in the end. It all comes back in so cool circles, makes connections to early points on. It's like genius level of writing. At least I think that. When I saw the end today, I was really, really happy that I played it. And then again, to me, the gameplay was just fantastic. So, there's that. Maybe if you see it on offer, it would be more interesting to you, like a genuine audience out there. And if you like me, where you like this building aspect of it, where you like the atmosphere, the design, the overall feeling of it, and especially Low Roar, the band, and Church's excellent music in this game, then Death Stranding's for you. My name is Hostess, that was a new Byte here, and I hope you liked it. And again, more detailed stuff, which are also spoiler-based, will come later on. I'm just glad right now that it's over. And I kind of want to play also something else. But I also want to complete it to at least 100% to get a 5-star rating from all these different nods that I made. So there's still more playtime for me in this game, which makes the value of it, of course, very high. But now it's over. Thank you again for watching. See you soon.